Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Max Fenning, and let's queer up gay culture. Gay diver Greg Louganis sells medals, starts fresh in Panama. Diving legend Greg Louganis is starting over, and he's doing it in Panama. The 65-year-old, often celebrated as the most successful diver in U.S. Olympic history, revealed on Facebook that he has sold his California home, auctioned 3 Olympic medals, and shed much of his past life to embrace a new chapter abroad. In his heartfelt post, Louganis asked, quote, "So, as life moves forward, what are you prepared to leave behind?" End quote. According to Queerty.com, the 2 gold and 1 silver medal he sold brought in an astonishing $437,000, well above the $80,000 estimate. Louganis also sold his longtime California home, blessing it for its new owners and expressing joy that the property will bring love, peace, happiness, and a sense of safety. He's also donated or gifted many belongings, determined to travel light. Louganis said, quote, "Now I get to discover who is Greg Louganis," end quote. His message carried reflections on identity, gratitude, and living fully. Quote, "To be joyful in the moments, embrace the grief, the anger, and the laughter. Did I love well? Was I kind?" End quote. Louganis has long been a trailblazer. After winning 5 Olympic medals, he came out as gay in 1994 and disclosed he was living with HIV. Even now, he's not stepping away from his work entirely. Variety recently confirmed that Louganis has signed with Innovative Artist Entertainment for new projects in hosting, commentary, endorsements, and podcasting. For fans, Queerty.com points to a video he shared from his arrival in Panama City, an open door to a brand new journey. I think back to I often say my generation, many of us have never known someone who is passed from HIV or passed from AIDS, and oftentimes thinks about it as this sort of like foregone thing that has already happened, and it's rare that we really get to see representation from folks who are currently living happy and healthy lives with HIV. Of course, there's been so many medical advancements, since the 80s and the 90s and the peak of the AIDS epidemic, but I'm also I'm just excited to be able to have the folks have been able to see that representation throughout history, and I'm excited for this next phase of his journey.
How awesome.
Well,
right?
Yeah, Greg Louganis and I share an alma mater. We were both University of Miami, go Canes. And I used to sit by the pool all the time, and his name is plastered there. So it was just maybe 3 years after he came out that I was there. And Greg Louganis was always a topic. I mean, he was kind of UM's prize athlete. So we were always talking about him, always seeing him on the cover of everything. And I remember watching the Greg Louganis story. I think it was maybe a Lifetime. I forget which company put it out there. And Mario Lopez played Greg Louganis.
Wow.
And I didn't even really understand his story until I watched the biopic. And when he had that diving accident and his blood was on the ground, he was like, "Don't touch the blood," because remember, at that time, we were in our infancy of understanding HIV and how that was contracted, and it was such a stigma. And he also got a lot of backlash. There are a lot of people who hated him and said, all the people that say abomination and you're going to hell, you got what you deserve, gay people, all of that kind of stuff. That was raging at the time. And I just remember watching it, and he was such a beautiful guy, too. So we're like, man, but this guy, he just seems, I don't know, so genuine, so nice, and such a wonderful person. Like, it made you start thinking, maybe some people, like, is this really God's punishment? Like, he just seems like I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but you kind of think at that time in the zeitgeist about gay people being the effeminate, the kind of clown character.
He was an Olympic medal winner.
Exactly.
An
it was
athlete.
Like kind of the picture of masculinity.
Yes.
He's an Olympic gold medalist.
Yes.
This is another version of what gay could be. So gay wasn't just one thing, and it made some people think, it made me think a little bit about that too. I was like, maybe gay is not what I think it is. Maybe gay has such a broad spectrum of who you can be. Maybe gay is just like everybody. Maybe it's like your next door neighbor. Maybe, So I thank him for that and being such an amazing representative of what gay could be. And having to see his picture all the time, left an indelible mark. As far as him leaving, I don't know what the impetus for that was. It sounds like he's maybe also on some kind of spiritual journey, maybe distance from politics. Maybe politics has something to do with that. But he seems like he's trying to find himself in some way and see who he is and understand. And I have been on that journey probably 3 times already. So I kind of understand a little bit about maybe why he's doing what he's doing and maybe being known for something else. So good luck to you, man.
Good luck to him. I mean, and when I think of Greg Louganis, I think of courage. I think of courageous, I mean, he was out before social media, all right, before all that time. And he got real death threats, right? And he got all the shit that comes with being gay, yet he wanted the world to know that he had HIV. He wanted to educate the world on that, So when he's asking himself, who is Greg Louganis? You're a freaking courageous gay man who helped so many, right, like Trini, know that gay wasn't bad. You know what I mean? Like something so simple by saying he doesn't look gay. I know it sounds idiotic to say that, but it put things in perspective for a young guy that was gay himself. You know?
I think people don't understand, maybe the younger generation, is what it was like to live in that anti-gay society back in the 80s and 90s. Like, it's not what it is today, which definitely we still have work to do, but it's these people who just keep putting these chinks in the armor that got us where we were to gay marriage.
100%. And he's one of those people.
Yeah.
So we wish him well. Now, he has not said why he's actually leaving this country. Maybe more will be out soon. But again, just like Trini said, we wish him well. And he's going with at least $1 million. That goes really far in Panama. Just saying. That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.